Hello and welcome back to yes, you who are listening and watching, your favorite podcast, The Lack of Interesting Conversation with me, your host, Trey Mendenhall. Thank you once again for joining us um, this week. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you joining me every week if you do. Just make sure, if you listen, make sure you please dislike us. Follow us on your social media. When I well, on Facebook's the only social media we have, but on on your podcast platform, um, make sure you follow us on there. Or subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search up at the Lack of Interesting Conversation. Make sure you share. Also, make sure you comment to help us continue to grow our audience. Uh, I'd really appreciate it if you do so. Share every episode if you can. As we are this episode, we hit the big 3-0. Yes. The big 3-0, episode number 30. Um, been quite a journey so far. I thank you if you've been here from the start. And if you're just jumping aboard, welcome. Go back and check out the previous 29 episodes. Here, also, before we go any further, as on this podcast, as some of you may know, as the whole world knows, this Saturday is the 4th of July. So this is the celebrating um, here in America, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of independence from Britain. So this is, I know this Saturday have a ton of fireworks to celebrate what's going on in cookouts, obviously, and just I'm just so thankful that God placed me here in America. What a incredible blessing this land is, and incredible how big of a blessing our freedoms are. I certainly pray and never take that for granted, as I know it can definitely just go away in a snap of a finger if it wanted to. Just so thankful that we are able to live free, and so thankful for the men and women who have served our military, who continue to fight and for those freedoms and to protect our country and continue to allow us to be openly free to be able to continue to, I guess, express and enjoy the freedoms that we are uh, fortunate enough to have here in America. And what a tremendous blessing, as I know we are one of the few nations that are still free, and that everybody in the world that gets to experience this. And that's why it's truly a blessing to get to live here. I'm so thankful for that. I know certainly we have our faults, but this is by far, in my opinion, the best nation to ever exist and, uh, on this earth. And what an incredible blessing um, this nation has been to the world. Um, I'm just so thankful that God bestowed His mercy and His grace on this land, and I'm so thankful that the founding fathers realized that as well. I think so thankful for their uh, realization to go before, to humble themselves and go before the throne room of God. That, as it says in the word, to go boldly into the throne of grace. That they went boldly to the throne of grace. That they prayed uh, for the nation, prayed for which direction they should move, and how incredible that is. And I mean, there's plenty of documents supporting that, and I know a big, I guess, uh, a big part of knowing this, I guess, this knowledge in my is wall builders. I don't know if you've heard of wall builders. David Barton, Tim Barton, his son, they both have wall builders. They have help uh, what is the word I want? Conserve. I don't know if that's the correct question word or not, but preserve. There we go. All those found a lot of those documents, a lot of like stuff from President George Washington, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. A lot of those founding fathers had a lot of the journals and stuff, and also, I guess, of how much their faith played into their decision making, especially Washington. Um, it's pretty incredible. I know Pastor Josh from Lake Point Church. I know on his Live Free podcast. I know this past week, Monday, you can go back and listen to it. I know he had Tim Barton on talking about the founders, and I know he also did something else about another podcast about the founders as well. When it comes, especially not just them um, and the role Christianity specifically played in the foundation of this great nation. Um, those are must listen. I would recommend those to anybody. Also, I know they wrote several books like American, the Americas, the Beginning, which I also know. This may be controversial, but Glenn Beck is currently doing a podcast series. He releases every Saturday, anywhere you get your podcast. Um, I guess doing a podcast and doing that book, a version of that book, reading the book and turning it into like a podcast episode on that book specifically. I know there's 15. I think the first 12 have been released so far. I don't know if there'll be more than the 15, but I guess we'll find out uh, in the coming weekends, coming Saturdays. But we'll find out there. But anyway, if you're a historian, you love history, uh, and you didn't know any of this, or if you want to learn more about that, and I would highly recommend going and checking Wall Builders out to know exactly what is going on, what I guess the founders really thought, and not just what um, I guess what we're taught in schools and stuff like that. But anyway, happy birthday, America! So thankful to be here. Let's move on to the topic. I know another topic. I know today, as many of you know, Striper is one of my top bands. If you know me, um, been around doing uh, their thing for over 40 years now, um, which I look forward to seeing them when they go back out on tour this fall. Um, I know I actually get to see them when they're uh, and I guess close to my area anyway. It's still a bit of drive. It's still a drive, but still, thankful we'll get to go see them again. But today they released another single off their upcoming album. The title, which what they released today, ended up being the title track, which is called "Throne of Thorns." Um, Another honestly heavy rocker. You got another great honestly, another great drum intro from Robert. Um, After I listened to it a couple more times, uh, it's pretty exciting. In my opinion, it's always exciting when one of your favorite bands um, goes and releases new music. I guess it's just not bands, but any your favorite musical artist. Uh, how honestly incredible that is. Um, this is the actual they That is this is what the album cover will look like here. You can see it. Maybe I can do something to put it in something. I don't know. But anyway, another excellent hard heavy metal rocker. Michael is the who plays the solo on on this song. This solo is longer than the first single, the "I'm All Right, I'm Okay," which is a great song, killer song. I think this is just behind that. I guess from when I first heard it, it didn't hit me the same way, I guess. But if I want to listen to it more, maybe it'll change. I don't know. But this album has 11 um, tracks. But before I get to that, um, it also released a music video with this. It's basically your standard performance um, video that you come to know from Striper. It's just them, just a band, Michael, Oz, Robert, and Perry. Now just standing there playing their instruments while Michael sings along to this. But the one, I guess there's a little bit of a subplot, I guess, going on behind the scenes. They, as they're walking around in a maze, and then at the end of the video come to like a door with the open light with the heavens shining down on top of them as they're walking out of the maze to I guess to the promised land. Uh, but um, the but today also with the this single and being the title track, pre-orders went live, so you're able to uh, let's see here, you're able to pre-order the vinyl, uh, or whether that be on Striper, port merch website. You got all kinds of bundles you can buy. You got the one you can buy. One comes with the T-shirt, a pen. Uh, let's see here, what's on here. The album itself, which is exclusive to the Striper store. It's the vinyl is yellow and brown splattered vinyl. You can get, I guess you can get any of these. This is not the only way you can get it, like Kiss, like they like to lock vinyls behind uh, T-shirts where you can only get the vinyl via the um, bundle. Then you get a soft cotton T-shirt printed with the album artwork on the T-shirt. Then you get a poster, Throne of Thorns poster, logo sticker, and a slip mat. Well, now that's cool because the slip mat is something you put on a record player. Personally, I thought it was just uh, something you put on top of your record player, and just you put it there and then you take it off when you play. But evidently, you're supposed to put the record on top of that, and it helps it not be so wobbly. Hold on, I'll actually show you the striper one I do have. Sorry, but this is the one I do have. This is striper slip mat that I do have. Just obviously with the striper, classic striper logo, triangular logo, Isaiah 53:5. By his stripes we are healed. Yes, by the stripes of Jesus Christ we are set free. Uh, Pretty much that. And then they also have a CD bundle where that comes with the poster, the pin, and the T-shirt. Obviously, it doesn't come with the slip mat because you don't need it on a CD player. But they also have your regular black vinyl option. You can buy that and which is $30. But you can also get the colored vinyl, the splattered vinyl for 50. Uh, but they also sell this stuff separately as well, the stuff that was in the bundles. And now on Frontier's website, I know they have, um, other bundles on there too. I know the one, um, the one, different colored version of vinyl that they are selling is a Coke bottle clear. So basically like the old Coke glass bottles. It's clear like that. Um, I guess I can show you what the I guess right there. That's the brown and yellow splattered one. I think that one's super cool actually. The price not so much, but hold on. Let me see if I can get Frontiers um to actually pop up when it comes to their website. Uh, there we go. Um, to get to their um, to get to their store is kind of hard to do, to be honest. Um, but on here, you can actually get a bundle that has this bundle. You can get all three. You can get the regular black vinyl, the Coke bottle clear vinyl. I forgot they do gold, gold copy, a gold vinyl, which they actually started with Greatest Gift of All. They also have a test pressing they do on here. Um, then you get, let's see here. I think you can get I think you get the CD, then you get, I guess it doesn't even really say what it is. Um, then you a kit album, I don't even know what that is, but it's something like this, I guess. You get it with a T-shirt. It's a bundle anyway. I don't know what a kit album is. Let's actually look that up. A kit album is a complete album experience that blends the permanence and collectibility of a physical media with the flexibility of digital access. I guess it's a digital album, but comes with like everything that like maybe what the CD comes with. I guess it's kind of weird. Um, but they got the test pressing. They also did that test pressing for the greatest gift of all as well. They actually are doing a picture disc, which is cool. I've never really seen much like that, but that's the picture disc right there. That's kind of cool. It's got the album cover on the front, one one side, on the first side. Then on the back, you got a picture of the band, which is pretty cool. To be honest. Then they got also are selling a sweatshirt version of, that of the album cover. Then they also a T-shirt, but all this stuff, like the bundles, you don't have. That's not the only way you can get the T-shirt. Again, with Kiss, that's the only way you get a T-shirt, but, um, the certain T-shirts anyway. You can buy all this stuff separately anyway. Uh, but I know they filmed, the Thorns video in Italy. I guess they filmed another one too, but I don't know what that one's for. It's probably for the next single. The track list for uh the Throne of Thorns, uh that'd be hard to say. Trying to see that three times fast. Is the album leads off with the title track, then Here in Your Heart for two, Falling 3, then the first single at 4, I'm Alright, I'm Okay, Waiting for You. I believe that is the closer on side 1 when it comes to the vinyl. Then the open up, uh, side 2, you get Carrying the Flame, Hollywood 7, Beautifully Broken, uh, 8, that might I imagine that might be the ballad. Maybe this next one is too, Ashes to Rose, uh, 10, Alone Again, then you got the album closer, Shadow Breaker. So, there you go. If that, excites you like it excites me, go ahead, check that out. Make sure you go and, pre-order if you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's just, totally up to you, if you want to. But to go on to our next topic here, I think this will be our final topic. Well, we may not, but I know yesterday morning, Chris Johnson, former NFL running back, nicknamed CJ2K, played for the Tennessee Titans from '08 to 2013. Then played for the Jets, 2013. Then the Cardinals for the last 3 years of his NFL career, from 2015 to 2017. He played at Eastern Carolina his college days. I remember, I think his second year in the league, '09, was when he was Offensive Player of the Year, ran for over 2,000 yards. I know yesterday he was on Good Morning America GMA, for an interview with Michael Strahan. He announced last year he was diagnosed with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. Um, if you don't know what ALS is, ALS is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. Um, what it is a disease that destroys motor neur- neurons, the nerves that control verbal muscle movement. As these cells die, muscles weaken and waste away. Also, this is, I guess, how I got his other name, Lou Gehrig's disease, is because the famous baseball player, uh, played Babe Ruth played for the Yankees, back in the 20s and late 20s and 1930s, announced, uh, yeah, that he had that in 1939. Early signs include muscle twitching, cramping, weakness in the arms and legs, slurred speech, and difficulty swallowing. Over time, it impairs the ability to walk, talk, eat, and breathe. Um, so, um, I believe there. I know you can go on YouTube or social media on GMA social media. They posted the full 6 minute interview of Chris and his wife. How this. I know they have 4 kids. How he not even able to pick them up anymore. I think their youngest kid is their daughter is 7. It's really just it's a unbelievable sad situation. Um, and also, I guess it kind of I know he is during his time with Tennessee. He's unfortunately not the only player to end up being diagnosed with ALS. As Tim Shaw, one of his former teammates, was diagnosed with ALS in 2014, the age of 30. And Chris is now he's 40. He was 39 at the time of his diagnosis. Uh, but on his social media, he on his Instagram anyway, he posted, "This is my story. These are my people." Last year, I was diagnosed with ALS, and for a while, the only thing I could do was hold on day by day. What you're seeing today wasn't just a story. I agreed to tell. It was a real moment in my real life, and with real people who love me, for care for me, and refuse to face this alone. I want to thank God uh, for carrying me through. I want to thank my wife, Brittany. There are enough words for what you've done. You become my caregiver, my advocate, my voice when I need one, and somehow you continue to hold our family together through all this. I know this hasn't just changed my life; it has changed yours too. I couldn't fight this without you. To my kids, um, I love you more than you'll ever know. You've stepped into responsibilities no child should ever have to carry. You've helped take care of me, encouraged me on the hard days, and reminded me on every day why I refuse to give up. Watching you shoulder a burden that isn't fair has been one of the hardest parts of this journey, but you've done it with so much love. Everything I do is for you. To my friends who have shown up consistently to keep me company, make me laugh, check on me, or simply sit with me. Your calls, your texts, your prayers, your presence have meant more than you'll ever know. You remind me that I was never fighting this alone. To my fans, feel your support more than you know. Every message, every kind word, every "I'm praying for you" has helped make this what feels so heavy feel possible to carry. Please don't stop. And to the doctors and the entire medical team who have fought alongside me, thank you. Thank you for your patience, your care, your knowledge, and your relentless work. You don't just treat symptoms, you give families like mine hope for tomorrow. While we don't know exactly how my ALS started, there's some there's growing research linking repetitive head trauma to ALS. Studies have found that NFL players are nearly 4 times more likely to develop ALS than a general population. I hope the NFL steps up, invests in research, and continues to work to protect players both now for generations to come. Together, we can push toward more better treatments and one day a cure. This disease is strong, but I'm stronger than the version of me that thought ALS would end my story. I'm not disappearing. I'm here, and I'm going to keep fighting. I intend to be around for a long time for my family, for our communities, and for anyone who out there who needs to hear that hope isn't just a slogan, it's a decision to make every single day. If you ever wondered what you can do to help, here it is. Please donate to ALS research. Every contribution helps giving scientists the tool to move faster, bring better treatments to families sooner, to move us closer to a cure. One contribution can be the difference between someday and soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for standing by me now and for the long road ahead. This isn't the end of my story. It's the beginning of my purpose. I am not done. Um, I, and that was the statement there. I know the NFL actually retweeted. I really hope the NFL does step up here and um, post, donate some money to the research. I believe Chris in that post also posted um, his link in his bio on his uh, Instagram to donate to ALS research, and I'll make sure I'll put that in the description of the this podcast. But I know with Chris and his former teammate Tim Shaw, I know at the age 30, Steve Gleason also has he was developed ALS in 2011. Some of you may know he was the former New Orleans Saints safety, uh, best known for blocking Michael Cohen punt, then Atlanta Falcon punter was punt. He blocked a punt, and which ended up being returned for a touchdown on the very first home game back in the Superdome for the New Orleans Saints um, after Hurricane Katrina, which obviously that building was rocking that night, and his that play will always be burned and enshrined in Saint fans' memories and lore. Dwight Clark, if you're a San Francisco 49ers fan, remember him being a receiver in the 80s. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you may not have been so fond of the guy. He was the guy on the end of the catch in the 1981 NFC Championship game when the San Francisco 49ers were taking on the Dallas Cowboys, which gave the 49ers the victory over the Cowboys that day. He was diagnosed with ALS in 2017, then died a year later. Then OJ um, Burn Grace, uh, he was a former linebacker for the then CFL's Baltimore Stallions. He won a great. That team is the won a great. He won a Grey Cup with that team, which is the only American franchise that the Canadian Football League had to ever win a Grey Cup in '95. He was also part of that dominant Baltimore Ravens defense in 2000 that ended up destroying the New York Giants in Super Bowl 35. I think it was 35-3, the final. Um, he was diagnosed with ALS in 2007, uh, and he is currently a senior advisor for player development with the Ravens, which, in my opinion, the Ravens are always seem to be their franchise always seems to be pretty good, pretty great when it comes to uh, taking care of their former players and continuing to have him on staff. But anyway, as you can see, there's been that's at least a few that I was able to find that have developed this ALS through that played into playing football. Then Chris said in the statement that it's been leaked that the head trauma that a lot of these NFL players take could lead to developing ALS, which makes perfect sense. You've got the biggest, strongest, fastest athletes out there on the football field, flying around, car crash every play, hitting each other as hard as you can, especially if you look back at the old highlights before, I guess, they threw penalties and stuff to uh, about someone taking someone's head off. Uh, that stuff wasn't always considered a penalty, especially if you go back to the 70s and looking at those, like the Raiders defense, the Steelers defense, Cowboys defense, all those defenses back in the 70s. They played fast and hit you hard. But ultimately, I mean, there's for being such a strong athlete, and stuff like that. I know a lot of times you think you're invincible, but something like this with Chris Johnson makes you realize you're not, and makes you want to take your health more seriously. And I certainly pray that this leads to people being more cautious with their health, being more careful with their health, being able to not just wait around, but go get something checked out, something's not right. Um, and this, I will continue to pray for CJ2K, and I pray that you guys would do the same as well. And if you can donate, please donate to help get bring this unfortunate disease to its end. And then I know sometimes um, we're left with why, but sometimes um, I would say probably most of the time we don't know, and when we won't know until we get to the other side. And sometimes that bothers us, but sometimes you gotta distrust that God has it in His hands, and somehow, some way, this will work out for uh, not just our good, hi- but His good as well. Um, but then to close the podcast, to wrap up the Brandon Sorsby thing, I know it was announced today that Brandon Sorsby will not be suing the NFL, which would have been a mistake, as I know his lawyer uh, was discussing it with some stuff with the NFL Players Association um, about possibly seeing what they could do. But uh, today it was announced that he will not be suing or moving forward with anything, but seek to prepare for the NFL draft next spring. But anyway, thank you again for joining me. Appreciate it. I really do. Just please make sure you give us a shout out, share us on social media, share us with your friends, give us a like, follow us anywhere you can find us. And we will see you next week on the Lack of Interesting Conversation.